between first and second. And Sandberg's got it, throws, and got him. Absolutely another great play by Sandberg.
Man, oh man, the Padres should be out in front about 6 or 7 to nothing. Sandberg has saved at least 4 runs, and we don't know what would have happened if he hadn't have made the play to retire the Padres in this inning.
So they get 1 run and a couple of hits.
Hey, Ethan, almost done?
Yeah, I'm getting there, just a few minutes.
Ethan, look, a letter from John.
Hey, what do you know? I haven't heard from old Dirtface in a long time.
They're still in Chicago. I wonder how Peg and little Tony are doing. Well, I'll let you read. I'll go fill up the car with gas.
Leanne, did I ever tell you I saved his life in Nam? Carried him on my back for 10 miles after a firefight.
Yes, you told me. John was lucky to have a friend like you.
Well.
Dear Sarge, how you doing? Peg and I just came back from a weekend camping trip where we ran into Screamin' Reamer. Remember him? Anyway, we got to talking about the bad old days, you know, the war, you saving my life and everything. So, well, I thought I'd drop you a line because it's cheaper than a phone call.
Same old Dirtface.
I dug out your last letter to me, and in your letter of 2 years ago, you said over and over again how sorry you were that I couldn't drink anymore, that I was an alcoholic and couldn't enjoy myself. You said you understood how miserable I must be. Well, Sarge, I know that it's going to be hard to swallow, but I'm a grateful alcoholic.
Listen,
You don't have to feel sorry for me. About 3 years ago, I hit bottom. I was ready to just pack it in.
You don't have to say anything at all. Just listen, that's all. Go ahead, sit down.
At first, I thought, why do I need help? I can get sober by myself. Hey, I've done it 100 times. The catch, I soon discovered, was not getting sober. It was staying sober. A much trickier proposition. Hi, Pat. Hey, how you doing, Ed?
Hey, gang, it's about time.
We got hung up in traffic, huh?
Yeah, sure.
What can I get you folks to drink? I'll have a vodka and water.
Dad, can I have a Coke?
A Coke it is. John?
Make it 2 Cokes.
Come on, John, I'll make you a real drink.
No, thanks, Ann. A Coke will be fine. I'm just not drinking today. I had all kinds of concerns, like, well, what the hell am I supposed to say when someone offers me a drink? Do I have to announce to the world that I'm an alcoholic?
John, what would you like to have to drink today?
Oh, no, thanks, Mr. Conrad. I'm not drinking today. Doctor's orders.
John, let's run across the street and grab a quick beer.
No, thanks.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Sure.
Well, son, I lost, so I'll buy the first round. Let's go up to the bar.
Pop, you know I'm an alcoholic. I don't drink. I made 2 fascinating discoveries, Sarge. First, most people don't drink as much as I thought they did. I thought everyone drank like I did, nonstop. Second, most people don't care if you drink or not. They don't even notice. And if they start really pushing me to drink, I have to wonder why it's so important to them.
Come on, Tony, hit it.
In those instances, I walk around with a glass of soda or something so no one bothers me. And you know, sometimes just saying I'm an alcoholic is good reinforcement for me. It's good for me to hear myself say it. When I was drinking, I didn't have time for Tony. I didn't have time for Peg or, well, for myself for that matter. I only had time to drink and then make excuses to myself and everyone else. I have time to enjoy my family, my son. And when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm proud. I respect that man looking back at me.
Dad, when I get real old like you, will I get that many whiskers?
Yeah, Tony. Your beard will be just as heavy as mine. You know, my beard's so heavy that I almost always have what they call 5 o'clock shadow. In fact, in the Army, they used to call me Dirt Face. It looked like I never washed my face. Peg says she sends her love and a hello to Leanne and the girls. She wants me to tell you about both of us. So, about a year after I started going to AA, Peg ended up in an alcoholism treatment center. I don't know if you ever noticed, because it wasn't that bad back then, but, well, Peg and I did most of our drinking together. We both had a problem. Only Peg's wasn't as noticeable, especially in the summer when she was home all day with Tony and not teaching. Anyway, she's been sober now for over a year. And I'll tell you what has really been an eye-opener for both of us. Peg has volunteered to provide transportation for teenagers who are in treatment for drug addiction and alcoholism as a way for them to get to outside AA meetings and Narcotics Anonymous meetings. These kids are in the same program that Peg went through, and on Sunday, they go to their outside meetings. Boy, it's really been an inspiration for both of us. There's this one girl who helps Peg who's been straight for a year or so.
Last one out. Close the door.
Oh, I really have to watch my anger. Last Saturday night, oh, boy.
Hey, Julie, get a move on.
You said I could use the car on Sunday. You promised. Parents.
I got the tickets. I caught Jimmy just in time. He had 2 tickets left. I told him you'd be forever grateful, so he gave in. Come on, we got about 15 minutes.
Most of the time, I could go to a concert and listen to music and be fine. But I was so mad that I knew it was not a good idea to go where there'd be drugs and booze around when I was so teed off.
Yeah, I know what you mean. But you know, it does work the other way around. Yeah? Well, for instance, a few months ago, John called me to tell me that he'd gotten this promotion. I mean, we were ecstatic. It's something we waited 3 months for. And my first reaction was, let's get a bottle of champagne and celebrate.
Oh, what did you do?
Well, I ate my 3 Oreo cookies, and I called my sponsor, and we went out for coffee. Oh. But you see, the beauty of it was, I was sober when he got home, and we could enjoy the news together, and I could even remember it the next day.
Yeah, celebrations, disappointments, those are the ways to set yourself up to use again if you don't watch it. Oh, when I graduated, I mean, finally graduated from high school, I was so happy. No one ever thought I'd graduate. I was so into drugs and booze, I never went to classes. I was suspended, kicked out, everything. Then finally, I got straight, and believe it or not, passed my classes. Not by much, but I passed. And boy, did I want to celebrate. Oh, I'll get it.
Oh, hurry back.
My graduation present. Want to go for a ride?
It's a gorgeous bike. But I don't want to go for a ride.
Come on, everyone's at the woods partying. Look, Julie, if you don't know how to have a good time, I can find someone that will.
Come on, Julie, let's cut the cake.
I'm already having a good time. Maybe you should find someone else. My sponsor, Carol, was there, and afterwards we had a long talk. She really helps. Oh, it was just Guy. Sometimes I don't like hearing what she has to say, but that just proves how bad I need to hear it. Oh, I never thought I'd be doing this. I never thought you'd graduate. Hey! I knew deep down that there was only one reason to go out to the woods, and that was to get wasted, period. All my old so-called friends would be there.
So-called friends?
Well, when I was in treatment, they told me that I'd probably have to stop seeing some of my old friends, start hanging out with winners instead of losers. But in my opinion, my friends were winners. I figured we'd all been through a lot together, and I'd known them for so long, you know?
But they didn't turn out to be winners.
Well, it really hurt my feelings because I kind of realized that the only thing I had in common with them was dope. They didn't really care about me. They wouldn't be there for me if I needed them. Well, I take that back. One girl, Nancy, she is my friend. But the rest, the only reason to be around them was to use. That's all they really care about. They want me to go back to that way of life because if I'm straight and admit that I'm an addict, what does that make them?
I know what that makes you.
A winner.
I'm meeting new people all the time. And Peg and I have made some real super friends. Of course, best friends are always the old friends, Sarge. I'm sponsoring a fella right now. A young guy.
I was raised to believe that men don't get lonely. So when they told me that I should go into a halfway house when I left the hospital, I exploded. What the hell do I need one of those places for? I don't need company. I had plenty of company over the years in jail. So I went to a meeting that first night, but then I came home to an empty apartment. No Carla, no Mickey. My wife, my kid, they were long gone. And I was feeling sorry for myself and very lonely. But I didn't want to admit it.
Big enough for 4 rootin' cowboys.
Well, here I am. I'm fine. No problem. No demons crawling out of the walls, tempting me to drink. Hey! Any demons in there? I really was kidding myself. I was ready to take the first drink or the first joint, anything. I started thinking, why even get up in the morning? What's the point?
Yeah, but you went. You finally got into a halfway house.
Yeah. I met people there and at meetings. Friends who didn't hate me for the things I did in the past. People who accepted me for what I was. They say that the 4 things that can wreck your sobriety are being hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. For me, lonely was at the top of the list. How about this one? Loneliness leads to self-pity, and self-pity leads to relapse. Poor me. How can I face people after all I'd done?
Okay, come on.
But it was a lot easier to face people while I'm trying to get better, instead of facing them when I'm doing nothing about my problem.
Hey, wait a minute. Something's not right here. Look what you got me doing. Still a controller, huh, Henry?
Well, you offered. And while you're at it, please.
I'm not perfect, Sarge. I still have my faults and my problems, but I gotta say, life is good. It's not boring and grim like I thought it would be. There's a sense of peace inside of me now that just wasn't there when I spent my life running in circles, running away from the truth.
Mommy, is it a shame?
It's what a shame.
Jason's mom said that you're an alcoholic, and it's a terrible shame.
Honey, come here. Come here. Come here. See, Tony, it's not a shame. It's not a shame as long as I do what I'm supposed to do. As long as I don't drink.
Then how come she said it?
Well, she just doesn't know how happy I am now. She just remembers how unhappy I was before I stopped drinking. You see, now I can laugh with you and Daddy. I can even laugh at myself sometimes. Because now when I get up in the morning, I don't have to worry about how I acted the night before, or if I wasn't very nice to somebody because I was drinking. See, now I notice all the good things around me. I notice stuff like I never noticed it before. Real simple stuff like what a nice day it is, or how pretty a song sounds. Stuff like that. Okay? Any more questions?
Yeah.
What?
Can I go play now?
Yeah.
At first, I thought sobriety would give me everything. No more bad things were gonna happen, but, well, I still get flat tires. I still have to pay my bills, but now I can deal with those things, and that's the difference.
You know, right after I got on the program, I had a flat tire coming home from work one night. And when I told Jill about it, she couldn't believe I wasn't calling the suicide prevention line. I mean, I wasn't ranting or raving or carrying on. You know, it was weird. When I got out of the car to change the tire, I was humming. I mean, I was so happy that I wasn't drunk. And, you know, I was waiting for a cop to come along. I wanted him to check me out because I knew I was stone cold sober.
I know what you mean. Old habits die hard. I still keep looking in my rearview mirror for flashing red lights.
Can I have some more coffee?
Yes, thank you. Sometimes I get as much out of stopping for coffee after the meeting as I do in the meeting itself. After all, I always had time to stop off for a drink. I certainly can make time to stop for coffee.
How is it going, Sam?
Pretty good. I'm a little tired, though. I didn't know when I was giving up drinking, I was also giving up sleeping.
That'll pass.
I hope so.
You play solitaire, don't you?
I guess I'm gonna have to learn.
Yeah. You know, it takes time for the body to get used to sleep after all that passing out. Just stay with it. Try some exercising or reading or something. Don't worry. When it's time to sleep, you'll sleep.
Nobody ever died of lack of sleep, Sam.
Boy, you ask a simple question around here and you get buried.
Sam, when I first got sober, I slept all the time. I kept waiting for all that energy they told me about. Then I realized I was eating junk food, I was smoking cigarettes, drinking coffee. Then I started eating a balanced diet, and I'm feeling much better all the time.
You know, that is absolutely true.
Sex is another thing newcomers to the program worry about. I hadn't had sex in so long without some alcohol in my system. Well, I'll tell you, I felt like a kid again, clumsy. Plus, when we were both drinking, there'd been so many hurtful things done that, well, we literally had to start all over. Learn to know each other again. Learn to trust, hold hands. It took a long time, and we both had to be very patient, each waiting for the other to feel comfortable. In the beginning, well, sometimes just holding each other was what we needed most of the time. We had to make a lot of changes in our lives. The most important was going to meetings. You know, it's funny. At first, I thought I'd get bored going to so many meetings, hearing the same thing over and over again. But, you know, Sarge, at each meeting, something someone says always seems to be just what I wanted to hear. It isn't always something major. Sometimes it's just a word or two, but I needed to hear it. I can't afford to get bored with my program. The cost of relapse is just too great. My life now is exciting. Changes. You know, most of the changes Peg and I have made are really very small, easy things, but they're important. Like, I used to stop at my favorite watering hole after work, you know, to buy cigarettes. Yeah, but I soon discovered they sell cigarettes in all kinds of places besides bars. The only time an alcoholic should be in a lounge or in a bar is if he has an honest reason to be there, and deep down, each of us knows our motives. It's a little different for Peg, since she's home most of the time. But she's rearranged her routine to avoid the old daily schedule, which included drinking.
Get down off there. Get off the rope. Stay off it, okay?
Come on.
The hardest time for her was the 3 to 5 o'clock vodkas before I got home. Now she fills this time doing other things.
Hey, Father.
Hi, Dad.
Tony. How you doing?
How you doing?
Not bad.
Yeah.
Hey, let's head for home, huh?
Okay, get your bag
Grab the
there.
bag. Hey, I am starved.
If I make a pot of coffee, will you have some?
Yeah. So, is this our new routine now? Instead of coming home and cracking out the glasses of ice for cocktails, we put on a pot of coffee.
Yes, this is our new habit. You like?
Oh, yeah.
Very much.
Where's Tony? Ooh.
It's the same deal with the young people. They don't know it, but those kids we meet who have such strong programs are really an inspiration for both of us.
Winslow! Get back here!
Isn't Winslow a pain?
Yeah, but he's like my hobby now. Him and my tennis.
Well, if you can call it that.
Hey, you better watch out. I've got a lethal backhand. You know, Craig, I have hobbies now. Me. I mean, before my hobby was using. I'd go skiing, but only to get ripped. I'd go to baseball games, but only to get wasted on beer. I'd go bowling, but only to order drinks from the bar. Now I have real hobbies. I feel like a real person for the first time in my life.
Wasn't it hard to have to change your whole life around like that? I mean, it was good for me, otherwise I wouldn't have met you. But it still must have been hard.
Yeah, it was hard. But I'm having fun, Craig. For a change, I've got a reason to get up in the morning. I mean, today I filled out a job application, and at the end it asked, what are your hobbies? Well, usually I just laugh and think to myself, getting wasted, that's my hobby. But now it's different. Now I'm not just a burnout. I'm a person, and I'm special.
You sure are.
One of the most important changes for me was being honest. I guess I can say that honesty was, and still is, the most difficult part for me because it's the exact opposite of what I've been doing all my life. I can't do a lifetime of repairs in one day, but one single day of truly being honest with myself makes the whole day worthwhile, and it makes it easier to do the next day. People will tell you if it looks like you're not being completely honest with yourself or if you're doing something that could lead to trouble. But only if you talk about it. I don't know whether to trash all the liquor I have in the house or just keep it there. It costs a fortune. And it never was the availability of the stuff that would trigger me to drink.
No. You wouldn't by any chance be an impulsive person, would you?
Yeah, we all know the answer to that one, okay?
Then, if you're angry enough, resentful enough, having liquor in the house could be pretty tempting.
Yeah. Yeah, but if I wanted a drink that bad, I'd go out and buy one.
Well, at least you'd have time to reconsider what you want to do. I mean, time to call someone, like me.
A good relationship with a sponsor and other recovering alcoholics can help with so many things.
It was so real, Donna. I don't remember ever having a dream that seemed so vivid even hours after I woke up. I was making breakfast. I felt like I had a hangover.
Peg, it's so normal to have that kind of a dream. It's called a drinking dream. The first one I had, I just had actually a psychological hangover all day long. It points out how cunning, baffling, and powerful the disease is. Work your program right. You'll be all right.
Oh, what would I do without you, huh?
There's lots of things I have to watch pretty close, like being impatient, cocky, complacent, feeling omnipotent, depressed, and so on. The list is long, but the beauty comes from learning to change the things I can and accepting the things I can't change.
Oh, look at that.
Hey, Sarge. I'm sorry if I bored you with all the details of my life. I just wanted you to know that I'm still basically the same old dirt face I always was, except that now I'm proud, content with my life, and happy to be alive. Thanks to you saving my life and my sobriety, I never knew it could be so wonderful.
Mr. Roberts, your discharge papers are all ready. You can sign out now. Your wife is waiting for you in the lobby.
I changed my mind. I want to stay in treatment.
Well, this is a switch. An hour ago, you said you didn't have a drinking problem, and you wanted to leave treatment. Can I ask you what changed your mind?
An old buddy of mine, he doesn't know it yet, but he just returned a favor.